Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is going to blow your mind. Your phone buzzes, a notification pops up, it's a video call from your CFO, you answer, everything seems normal, you've worked with this person for years. But what if the person on the other end of that call wasn't who you thought they were? This is the chilling reality of a new breed of cybercrime, one that uses cutting-edge technology to exploit our trust. This is the story of the $26 million deepfake heist, a corporate nightmare that sent shockwaves through the world. Our story takes us inside a prominent tech company, a leader in its field, renowned for its innovation and security. They thought they were untouchable, their systems impenetrable. They were wrong. A group of highly skilled cybercriminals armed with deepfake technology were about to turn their world upside down. This is a story about the fine line between the digital world and reality and how that line is becoming increasingly blurred. In the heart of the tech world, nestled among the giants of Silicon Valley, stood our protagonists. Let's call them Innovatech. Innovatech wasn't just another tech company, they were pioneers, innovators, pushing the boundaries of what was possible. Their name was synonymous with cutting-edge technology, their products used by millions worldwide. They prided themselves on robust security measures. They believed they were impenetrable, a digital fortress that no one could breach. But they had a weakness, one that no amount of technology could fully protect against: human error. Unbeknownst to Innovatech, deep within the digital ether, a storm was brewing. A group of cybercriminals, as sophisticated as they were ruthless, had set their sights on the tech giant. The first sign of trouble was subtle, almost imperceptible. A few unusual login attempts, a slight spike in network traffic. Nothing that set off any major alarms. But to the trained eyes of Innovatech's security team, these were the first telltale signs of a breach in progress. The cybercriminals, like digital ghosts, moved silently through Innovatech's systems. They had infiltrated the company's network through a carefully crafted phishing email, a single click from an unsuspecting employee granting them access. Their malware, designed to evade even the most sophisticated security software, spread like a virus. They weren't interested in stealing customer information or intellectual property. They were after something far more audacious: Innovatech's money. And they had a plan so cunning, so audacious that it would exploit the very technology Innovatech championed: artificial intelligence. The cybercriminals understood that pulling off a heist of this magnitude required more than just technical prowess. It demanded meticulous planning and a deep understanding of their target. They operated like modern-day spies, infiltrating not just Innovatech's digital infrastructure, but also their corporate culture. They spent months studying the company's organizational structure, identifying key individuals with access to financial systems. They were masters of social engineering, using their knowledge to craft targeted phishing emails and messages designed to trick employees into revealing sensitive information. Central to their plan was the creation of deepfakes, highly realistic, AI-generated videos that could mimic the appearance and voice of anyone. They collected countless hours of video footage of Innovatech's CFO, analyzing his every mannerism, every inflection, every twitch of his eye. They fed this data into their AI algorithms, training their deepfake models to replicate his voice and movements with uncanny accuracy. They went further, creating fake social media profiles for the CFO, complete with fabricated posts and interactions. Their goal was to create a digital illusion so convincing that even those who knew the CFO personally would be fooled. With their deepfakes ready and their intelligence gathering complete, the cybercriminals meticulously crafted their plan of attack. They studied Innovatech's financial procedures, identifying vulnerabilities and loopholes they could exploit. They created fake invoices, fabricated financial reports, and even forged digital signatures to make their transactions appear legitimate. They planned their attack to coincide with a period of high activity within the company, knowing that during such times, employees would be less likely to question unusual requests. Their plan was a masterpiece of deception, a carefully orchestrated symphony of technology and social engineering. The day of the heist arrived, a seemingly ordinary day amidst the hustle and bustle of Innovatech's headquarters. Employees went about their daily routines, oblivious to the digital storm brewing beneath the surface. The cybercriminals, hidden in the shadows of the internet, watched and waited, their fingers hovering over keyboards, ready to launch their attack. Their first target was a high-ranking financial officer, someone with the authority to initiate large wire transfers. They had chosen their mark carefully, studying his habits, his vulnerabilities, his trust in those above him. The cybercriminals were ready. At precisely 10:13 a.m., the financial officer's phone buzzed with an incoming video call. The caller ID displayed the name and photo of the CFO, a man he had worked with for years, a man he trusted implicitly. He answered without hesitation. The face that greeted him on the screen was the CFO's, or at least it appeared to be. The deepfake was flawless, mimicking his every mannerism, every inflection, every twitch of his eye. The CFO explained that he was calling from a secure line while traveling abroad for a confidential acquisition. The financial officer felt a surge of adrenaline. A $26 million transfer to Hong Kong. It seemed unusual, but the CFO's tone was urgent, his demeanor serious. He explained that the deal was time-sensitive, that any delay could cost the company millions. The financial officer hesitated, his gut telling him something wasn't right. The CFO responded with calm assurance, providing plausible explanations and even sharing details of the supposed acquisition. The financial officer, swayed by the convincing deepfake and his own sense of duty, pushed aside his doubts and logged into the system. With a click of the mouse, $26 million vanished into the digital ether, transferred from Innovatech's account to the offshore account controlled by the cybercriminals. The financial officer, unaware that he had just been played like a pawn in a high-stakes game of digital chess, breathed a sigh of relief. He had done his job, followed orders, protected the company's interests. Or so he thought. The cybercriminals, their mission accomplished, melted back into the digital shadows, leaving behind no trace of their presence. Their victory was a chilling reminder that in the world of cybersecurity, the line between reality and illusion was becoming increasingly blurred. In the immediate aftermath of the transfer, an eerie silence fell over Innovatech's headquarters. The financial officer, still unaware of the deception, went about his day, the weight of the $26 million transaction a distant hum in the back of his mind. He mentioned the transfer to a colleague in passing, a casual remark about the CFO's supposed acquisition in Hong Kong. The colleague, equally oblivious, thought nothing of it. The cybercriminals, meanwhile, were already busy covering their tracks. They deleted their fake accounts, erased their digital footprints, and funneled the stolen funds through a labyrinthine network of offshore accounts, making it nearly impossible to trace. The illusion of normalcy, however, was about to shatter. Later that week, as part of a routine financial audit, an eagle-eyed accountant noticed a discrepancy. A $26 million outflow flagged as suspicious due to its size and destination. The accountant, a stickler for detail, dug deeper, his curiosity piqued by the unusual transaction. He traced the transaction back to the financial officer, who confidently explained the situation, recounting his conversation with the CFO about the urgent acquisition. The accountant reached out to the CFO's office, only to discover that the CFO was not abroad, but at a conference in New York. His phone switched off due to a strict no electronics policy. News of the fraudulent transfer spread like wildfire through Innovatech's executive suite. The initial reaction was disbelief, followed by a wave of panic that washed over the boardroom. How could this have happened? Their systems were supposed to be impenetrable, their security measures airtight. The CEO, his face ashen, demanded answers. The head of security, his voice strained, could only offer a grim assessment of the situation. The boardroom buzzed with activity as executives scrambled to assess the damage and find a way to recover the stolen funds. The atmosphere at Innovatech was electric with tension. The $26 million theft had shaken the company to its core. A sense of urgency pervaded every meeting, every phone call, every email. Innovatech's internal security team, though highly skilled, found themselves outmatched. Realizing the need for outside expertise, Innovatech called in a renowned cybersecurity firm specializing in digital forensics and cybercrime investigation. This elite team of cybersecurity professionals, veterans of countless digital battles, descended upon Innovatech's headquarters like a SWAT team responding to a high-stakes hostage situation. The investigation began at the point of breach, the financial officer's computer. The cybersecurity experts, armed with an arsenal of forensic tools and software, meticulously examined the hard drive, searching for any trace of the malware used to create the deepfake call. They analyzed network logs tracing the path of the malicious traffic back to its source. They discovered that the cybercriminals had used a sophisticated network of proxy servers and virtual private networks to mask their location. But the cybercriminals, for all their meticulous planning, had made one crucial mistake, leaving behind a few digital breadcrumbs that hinted at their true identities. The cybersecurity experts, working around the clock, piecing together the fragments of digital evidence like detectives solving a complex jigsaw puzzle, slowly began to close in on their targets. They discovered that the cybercriminals were part of a highly organized international syndicate operating across multiple continents. Realizing the scope of the operation, Innovatech's cybersecurity team reached out to law enforcement agencies around the world, sharing their findings and requesting assistance in apprehending the perpetrators. The FBI, Interpol, and other international agencies joined the hunt, launching a global dragnet to bring the cybercriminals to justice. The chase was on, a high-stakes game of cat and mouse played out across continents in the shadowy realm of cyberspace where the lines between the real and the virtual were blurred. Section 1. The High Cost of Deception. The $26 million deepfake heist sent shockwaves through Innovatech, leaving an indelible mark on the company's psyche. The financial loss, while significant, paled in comparison to the damage inflicted on their reputation. The once impregnable tech giant, a symbol of innovation and security, had been exposed as vulnerable, its defenses breached with disconcerting ease. The news cycle went into overdrive, the story becoming a cautionary tale of the dangers lurking in the digital age. Competitors seized the opportunity to sow seeds of doubt, questioning Innovatech's security protocols and casting a shadow over their future prospects. Investors, their confidence shaken, hit the sell button, sending the company's stock price plummeting. Internally, the atmosphere was one of shock and disbelief. Employees, once proud of their association with a cutting-edge tech company, now felt a sense of unease, their trust in the digital systems they relied on daily irrevocably shaken. The incident served as a stark reminder that in the interconnected world of the 21st century, no one was immune to the threat of cybercrime. Section 2. A New Era of Cyber Warfare. The Innovatech heist marked a turning point in the evolution of cybercrime, ushering in a new era of digital warfare, where artificial intelligence was no longer a tool for progress alone, but a weapon in the hands of skilled adversaries. The attack served as a wake-up call for businesses and governments worldwide, exposing the alarming potential of deepfakes to undermine trust, manipulate markets, and even destabilize economies. The incident prompted a global conversation about the urgent need for enhanced cybersecurity measures, for international cooperation to combat cybercrime, and for ethical guidelines to govern the development and deployment of artificial intelligence. Governments scrambled to pass legislation, law enforcement agencies ramped up their cybercrime units, and cybersecurity firms witnessed a surge in demand for their services. The world had been forced to confront a new reality, one where the line between the digital and the real had become dangerously blurred, and where the consequences of cyber attacks could extend far beyond the virtual realm, impacting the lives and livelihoods of millions. Section 3. Staying ahead of the game. In the wake of the deepfake heist, Innovatech embarked on a comprehensive overhaul of its cybersecurity infrastructure, investing heavily in state-of-the-art technologies and bolstering its internal security team with top-tier talent. They implemented multi-factor authentication, enhanced their intrusion detection systems, and deployed AI-powered tools to detect and prevent deepfake attacks. But technology alone was not enough. Innovatech recognized that cybersecurity was not just about firewalls and intrusion detection systems, it was about people, about fostering a culture of security awareness and vigilance at every level of the organization. They launched mandatory cybersecurity training programs for all employees, educating them on the latest threats, including deepfakes, and empowering them to identify and report suspicious activity. Innovatech emerged from the ashes of the deepfake heist, not unscathed, but stronger, wiser, and more resilient. They had learned a valuable, albeit costly lesson that in the ever-evolving landscape of cyber threats, complacency was not an option. The battle against cybercrime was far from over, but Innovatech, along with countless other organizations around the world, stood ready to face the challenge, armed with the knowledge, the tools, and the unwavering determination to stay one step ahead of the game.